Familiar surroundings of the Championship and kicking off the season almost 24 hours before the league, the Motor Canaries' opening match of the campaign selected for live television coverage on the Friday evening. Malky Mackay's Watford, the visitors. Dan O'Hagan, your commentator.
Opening day last season, despair for Norwich, a 7-1 loss here to Paul Lambert's Colchester. The outlook was bleak. Soon Lambert was their manager, and from then there was no turning back. 43 games, 86 goals, 29 wins, the title. Norwich's first game back at this level sees them face a Canary legend, Malky Mackay. Watford's manager brings a squad short on years to Norfolk, hoping for him this season the kids are all right. Martin Taylor joins the Watford attackers. Corner taken short this time though. In by Don Cowie. Eustace! Goal for Watford. The captain, John Eustace, with the first goal of the N-Power Championship season. Doyley. And there's no flag here. It's a second Watford goal. Danny Graham, last season's 14-goal top Hornet scorer, has doubled their lead. Anxious Norwich faces. But here's Houlihan again for Norwich. It's Houlihan. It's Simeon Jackson. It's a clever backheel for Andrew Crofts. On his debut, gets a base camp for Norwich in the game to build from. And their summer bye from Brighton has got the early second half goal they simply craved here at Carrow Road. Norwich City, the reigning League One champions, are right back in the opening game. Houlihan, Simeon Jackson, clever back heel, explosive finish. Andrew Crofts has his Norwich goals account open on his league debut. Game on in East Anglia. Super finish. McGinn here finds Danny Graham. Danny Graham tries to curl and restores Watford's 2-goal cushion. His second goal tonight might just be the one to clinch opening night success for Malky Mackay and Watford. Russell Martin. It's Crofts with the pullback and the dummy and the goal. Michael Nelson, 3-2 with 4 added minutes to play. There's hope again for Norwich. Michael Nelson, whose goal at Charlton last season clinched promotion, has given Norwich a glimmer again in their first game back in the N-Power Championship.
In the event, it was only a glimmer. It finished 3-2 Watford. Three days after the Watford match, a first taste of Carling Cup action with Chris Gorham.
A bit of clumsy defending from Norwich City, and Gillingham go in front. Once again, Norwich's defence leaving a little bit to be desired, and it fell for Chris Palmer on the edge of the penalty area, and he just swept it into the bottom corner of the net, and the side from League Two are in front at Carrow Road. Grant Holt has it. His first start of the season. Great ball into the penalty area from Holt to Chris Martin, who puts the ball into the net. Great link-up play between Grant Holt and Chris Martin. The equaliser that Norwich City wanted. Wonderful ball from Holt. Chris Martin scores his first goal of the season. A sigh of relief around Carrow Road. Norwich 1, Gillingham 1. Corey Smith on the attack for Norwich City. Russell Martin on the right wing on the overlap. Crosses into the penalty area. Good one, Holt's header. Oh, what a goal for Norwich City. Grant Holt scores, really well worked. Neat header into the corner of the net. Norwich City lead by 2 goals to 1, but that was a lovely, lovely goal. Houlihan involved, tight to the byline on the right, lays it out for Corey Smith, dangerous cross, Grant Holt scores! What a great goal for Norwich City! Well worked. Corey Smith with the delivery from the right-hand side. First time shot from Grant Holt into the net. Holt is back in the Norwich City starting lineup after injury, and he's back with a couple of goals. Ollie Johnson underneath it, into the penalty area. It runs for Chris Martin, who goes round the goalkeeper and slips in the fourth goal for Norwich City and completes what has been a fine evening for them. They went 1-0 down, but they now lead 4-1 in stoppage time. Neat finish from Chris Martin, the Gillingham defence really making a hash of a long ball forward. Martin went round the goalkeeper. Ollie Johnson almost tackled him, such was the desperation for him to get a goal, but Chris Martin takes it. It's Martin 2, it's Holt 2, it's Norwich 4, and into the next round of the League Cup.
Next for City, on the road with the trip to Scunthorpe. The Canaries going close to taking the lead 2 minutes into the second half. Grant Holt sliding in at the far post, just unable to get the final touch to Chris Martin's efforts. It looked to be heading for a goalless draw. Then enter Simon Lappin, on as a late sub and making an instant impact. Great cross from Lappin. Stunning header from Grant Holt. A spectacular stoppage time winner. Lappin's arrival proving an inspired substitution. Trademark Holt. And a first 3 points of the season for Norwich. 1-0. The dramatic finale at Scunthorpe, a portent of things to come. Some fans already leaving Carrow Road when this happened.
Swansea are in here with Sinclair, who goes round John Ruddy, and Sinclair has gone down, and the referee points for a penalty to Swansea. Now Sinclair looked to go down very easily there as Ruddy dived at his feet, but what a crucial moment this could be in the game, because Swansea, with 8 minutes to go, have been awarded a penalty in front of the Barclay end. Sinclair going down easily under the challenge from Ruddy. And this is a chance for Swansea to win the game. David Cottrell, man who nearly joined Norwich 4 years ago, is going to take it. He scored one last week against Preston. Cottrell with the right foot, takes the penalty, hits the post! He's hit the post, he's missed it! And Norwich clear it away! And a huge roar around Carrow Road as Swansea miss a penalty!
John Ruddy with a fantastic save, diving to his right to keep the ball out. Instant redemption for the earlier foul. Upon such moments, our games turned, never more so than the final few minutes here.
Grant Holt, edge of the penalty area. McNamee free on the left-hand side. Low cross comes in. Oh, it's a goal! It's an own goal! It's an own goal! More late drama in a game involving Norwich City. And just moments after John Ruddy saves the penalty, Norwich go up the other end and they get an own goal. McNamee's cross went in off a Swansea defender, and suddenly Norwich lead in front of their home supporters. What a finish to the game. 1-0 Norwich. Chris Martin wins possession inside his own half and determined run forward. Plays it to Grant Holt in an onside position. Holt on the right-hand side will actually cross the ball into the penalty area towards Simeon Jackson, who finishes it off brilliantly. I think Paul Lambert and the Norwich fans were willing Grant Holt into the corner there, but instead he fired the ball into the penalty area and Simeon Jackson scores his first Norwich City goal. Norwich scoring stoppage time for the fourth game in the row. They're going to win at Carrow Road. Norwich 2, Swansea 0, 2 goals in the last 4 minutes of the game for Norwich City.
The Carling Cup second round saw Norwich supporters making the trip to Premier League Blackburn. 7 changes for City, 8 for Rovers. The night belonged to Rovers' Amame Biram Diouf. A header on the half hour, the first of 3 goals from the on-loan Manchester United striker. It stayed that way until 10 minutes from time when Diouf made it 2. Morten Gamps Pedersen involved in all 3 goals, and it was his cross for Diouf to complete his hat-trick. 3-0, the Canaries grabbed a late consolation from the corner, Jens Bertolascu. 3-1 on the night, so ending interest in the Carling Cup for another season. Back to the league and what promised to be a tough test at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest, another team tipped by many as strong promotion contenders.
It's Ryan Bertrand, the former Canary, runs into the penalty area, runs into Andrew Crofts. Norwich failed to clear. It's a real mix-up at the back, and now it is a penalty to Nottingham Forest. Paul Anderson goes down. John Ruddy, both arms up in the air. It'll be Dexter Blackstock, the Forest striker, who will test him. Up to the ball now, and he's tucked it into the corner of the net. And Nottingham Forest take the lead against a spirited Norwich City side. The goal arriving 11 minutes from half-time. Dexter Blackstock's penalty. John Ruddy guessed right, but this week he couldn't keep it out. Looped up in the air off a defender. Chris Martin heads it down. Andrew Crofts turns it goalwards, and it's there! Norwich City have equalised 4 minutes from half-time, and it's no more than they deserve at the City Ground. Andrew Crofts looping the ball over the goalkeeper Lee Camp after Forest had made a mess of dealing with a free kick. Norwich hit back. It's 1-1 at the City Ground.
So, 7 points from the opening 4 games saw Norwich up among the early pace setters come the end of August. 7th, only 3 points behind the leaders. Ipswich 3rd, early days though, with an international break to come. A fortnight after the Forest trip, Norwich back at Carrow Road. Goalkeeper John Ruddy missing with a dead leg. His replacement Declan Rudd beaten on the stroke of half-time. Andrew Sermon was also out and said to be missing several weeks with a knee injury suffered in training. Here, Norwich pushed for an equaliser, and they took full advantage with Barnsley down to 10 men. Former Canary Jason Shackle off receiving treatment. Anthony McNamee drilling in a cross, which Stephen Foster deflected into his own net. 1-1. McNamee crossing into the danger area, Foster's header in off the underside of the crossbar. McNamee was enjoying his afternoon, causing the visitors real problems on the wing, and involved again as Norwich grabbed the winner. His cross cleared only as far as Adam Drury on the edge of the box, and he in turn set up Chris Martin for his first goal of the season. Martin curling in a beauty to open his account and give the Canaries all 3 points. 2-1. Three days after the Barnsley win, City were off to Yorkshire, taking on a Doncaster team who'd made a bright start to the campaign and were about to show why. First, an absolute belter from James Coppinger. 25 yards, unstoppable. And that was just for starters, as Coppinger set about something of a one-man demolition job at the keepmoat. His second not quite as spectacular, but Norwich 2 down after 15 minutes. The Canaries were back in the match midway through the second half. Patient approach play involving Adam Drury, Anthony McNamee, good cross, Corey Smith to Grant Holt, and setting up Russell Martin for the diving header. Martin's first goal for the club, with plenty more to follow from City's right back. 2-1. There would be no denying Coppinger though, completing his hat-trick and wrapping up the points with a deflected free kick 4 minutes from time. Next up for City come the Saturday, the trip to Deepdale, and a Preston team struggling under Darren Ferguson.
Chris Martin does well, finds Houlihan on the left-hand side, level with the Preston penalty area. Cross comes in, Corey Smith is in on it, brings it under control, finds Grant Holt, who scores this time! Grant Holt gives Norwich City the lead just past the hour mark and celebrates with those Norwich City supporters. No more than Norwich deserve. Preston 0, Norwich 1. Grant Holt finally has his 4th goal of the season.
Back at Carrow Road, and another dramatic climax as Hull City staged a late smash and grab.
Cross comes into the Norwich penalty area towards Cullen, but good defending from Elliott Ward, and then cleared well by Croft, but only as far as Ashby. Edge of the penalty area, lays it off for Dawson, whose low shot takes a couple of deflections, and it's going to be headed in by Corran, and Hull City have stolen the lead with 8 minutes to go. The Slovenian World Cup player Corran heads it through. It's a scrappy goal, but Norwich City, having dominated and dominated, find themselves a goal down at home with 8 minutes to go. Jimmy Bullard, if he's going to take this, is going to be a bit of a fast bowler's run-up. Instead it's Carney who curls it with the left foot into the net. It's 2-0 to Hull. They've scored twice in the last 8 minutes of the game, and they may well have stolen a victory at Carrow Road. It's going to be their first away win for 18 months. It's so cruel on Norwich City. Somehow they are 2-0 down at home, and they've played so well.
Midweeks at Carrow Road, always special. This one's a real treat.
Right-hand side with young Martin Waghorn, who's a recent signing from Sunderland. It's a good run. He's got past Drury. He's in the penalty area, and he's scored! What a mistake by John Ruddy. The Norwich City goalkeeper has let that shot slip through his legs, and Leicester City, the bottom club in the Championship, take the lead within the first 90 seconds at Carrow Road. It's a horrible error from the Norwich City goalkeeper, John Ruddy. Leicester lead. Nice work to Crofts on halfway. Crofts finds Houlihan on the left-hand side. Here's an opportunity for the man who's so often Norwich's playmaker to come forward. Houlihan has Lappin outside him. He's in the penalty area though, Houlihan. Scoops the ball across, flicked on, falls for Grant Holt from the angle on the right-hand side, cuts it back to Crofts! There's the Norwich City equaliser! Andrew Crofts, who's been one of Norwich's most impressive players this season, strikes when they needed it, turning in Grant Holt's cutback, and Norwich City are level at home, 1-1. But back to Russell Martin, another chance to cross. Now that has hit the Leicester player on the arm, and the referee, Peter Walton, points to the penalty spot. And Norwich City have been given a penalty. 7 minutes played in the second half. Here comes Wes Houlihan with the penalty for Norwich City. Scores! And Norwich City are in front for the first time in the game. Wes Houlihan's long wait for a goal is over. It's his first in 16 matches. And it makes it Norwich City 2, Leicester City 1 at Carrow Road. With Houlihan just inside the Leicester half. He's got a man out to the left-hand side. That man here is Drury. He's through. Adam Drury! He scored! Adam Drury scores his first Norwich City goal since January 2005. Everybody in Carrow Road up on their feet, saluting the most unlikely goal scorer. It's Norwich City 3, Leicester 1. You've got good odds on that. Adam Drury has scored. And the corner's been taken short by Leicester. Norwich asleep. Shot comes in from Dyer. And poked goalwards here by Leicester off the line. And then Fright stabs it in. It's 3-2. Norwich City caught napping. And the short corner has ultimately led to Leicester getting back within a goal. Paul Lambert throws a water bottle down into the ground in frustration. It's Norwich 3, Leicester 2. Matt Fright brings the game back to life just a moment after Norwich had gone 2 goals clear. Houlihan, 25 yards from goal for Norwich City. Belting volley! Whoa. Oh, that's amazing! What a goal from Wes Houlihan! Chested the ball down, volleyed it into the top corner of the Leicester net. His second of the night, 4-2. Brilliant from Wes Houlihan. Gallagher puts the ball through to Fright. Leicester are attacking. Fright's in the penalty area. It's a clear opportunity, and it's 4-3. Matt Fright has his second goal of the evening. 12 minutes to go. There's a real scramble in the back of the Norwich net now, as Leicester are quick to retrieve the ball. Leon Barnett was trying to stop them from doing it, and I think Leon Barnett took a kick.
There should be a red card for me. Should be a red card. If the ref's seen this, he's got to send him off.
It is a red card, yeah. Well, what a game. 4-3 to Norwich City. And what a game. It's finished. And it's finished in victory for Norwich City. 7 goals, a game that had everything. Norwich hang on. They win by 4 goals to 3.
It's never easy to come and when you're a goal down and a team sets up and frustrates you the way Leicester did with the formation, and I liked it with the lads, the way we kept on going, and the crowd drove us on to another one.
A breathtaking night at Carrow Road, 7 goals and a veritable collector's item in the shape of that rare strike from the evergreen Adam Drury, all of which saw City moving up from 6th to 3rd in the table behind QPR and Cardiff. into October, and it was back on the road. Ashton Gates next. Simeon Jackson in the starting lineup, and taking full advantage of the opportunity to display his goal-scoring prowess on the end of Andrew Croft's through ball, and Jackson blasting home to give Norwich the lead. Great finish. The Canaries dominated after that and doubled their lead, courtesy of a penalty. Grant Holt's shot, charged down, handball. And by now City's away fans enjoying every moment this afternoon, before Wes Hoolahan beat England's David James from the spot. 2-0 at half-time. Norwich made absolutely sure of the points with a third in the second half. It actually came from a Bristol City free kick, collected by John Ruddy. Then no-nonsense, direct route one this time. Ruddy's big kick. And again it's Jackson with another clinical finish, underlining exactly why Paul Lambert bought him during the close season. 3-0, the Canaries' biggest win of the season so far. The international break meant it was a fortnight before Norwich and their supporters were back in action after the win at Bristol City, resuming their campaign with the trip to West London. This, without doubt, the biggest test of the season so far, against Championship leaders Queen's Park Rangers, unbeaten and yet to concede a league goal at Loftus Road this season.
Here's Jackson. This is Lapin. Couldn't keep possession, but it breaks kindly for Simeon Jackson. Tries to get a shot away, bounces back off the defender to Drury. In comes the cross. Oh, and there was a tangle there. It might be a penalty. It is. Grant Holt was wrestled to the floor, and Norwich have got a penalty here. Hoolahan, who did the cross. QPR are protesting to the referee, but it looked as if Holt was impeded. It is a Norwich penalty here in the first half against the unbeaten Queen's Park Rangers, and it's Wes Hoolahan who's going to take it. Hoolahan misses. Oh, Hoolahan.
The Canaries so close to ending QPR's proud, unblemished home record, but City more than a match for the league leaders on the day. Another midweek at Carrow Road, this time the visit of Crystal Palace. Another team struggling away from home, yet to score a league goal on their travels, with a certain former Ajax, AC Milan, Juventus, Spurs and Dutch international Edgar Davids in their lineup. Commentary from Chris Gorham.
Hoolahan has Stephen Smith outside him, but decides to keep it to himself. But Klein stays with him. Now it does come to Stephen Smith, who intelligently lays it off to his fellow Scott Lapin. Cross from the left-hand side. Holt's there, and Grant Holt scores! Grant Holt has his goal 3 minutes from half-time. Only one goal in his last 10 before tonight, so the Norwich City captain needed that. Norwich City needed that. They're in front just before half-time. Norwich 1, Palace 0. It's a short corner, return to Garvin, who crosses from the corner of the penalty area. Ball is headed down, and that's an equaliser. Crystal Palace have equalised. They've been threatening since the start of the half, and it's Julian Bennett, the left-back, who was unmarked at the far post, to nod the ball into the net. It's the first goal Crystal Palace have scored in the league away from home this season. It comes at the Barclay end, and it makes it Norwich 1, Crystal Palace 1. Owen Garvin delivers the corner. Gardner at the near post has headed it in! Crystal Palace have turned it round, and they lead at Carrow Road by 2 goals to 1. 2 goals in the space of 6 minutes, and the strugglers in the Championship are leading against the team in third. It's 2-1.
After the surprise setback against Crystal Palace, a quick chance for the Canaries to make amends with the weekend visit of Middlesbrough in blue.
McNeil's done brilliantly to work room. Now crosses from the right. It's a disappointing cross, but Middlesbrough don't deal with it. And Andrew Croft has hit the inside of the post, and it bounces out into the arms of the goalkeeper. Croft thought he'd scored. Most of Carrow Road thought he'd scored. The inside of the post and out. Now McNamee crosses from the right-hand side, Holt's coming in on it, Jackson with the chance, and Jackson scores! And Norwich City get the goal that their players deserve. 2 minutes from half-time, McNamee does make the difference. His cross, Grant Holt couldn't turn it goalwards, Simeon Jackson could, and it's Norwich City 1, Middlesbrough 0.
Second against fourth in the Championship now. The Canaries at Cardiff, and soon behind. Jay Bothroyd heading home from a 9th-minute corner. Just 3 minutes later, it was 2. Michael Chopra doubling Cardiff's lead, latching onto Bothroyd's flicked header before beating John Ruddy. So not looking good for City, but the recalled Wes Hoolahan brought them right back into the match with a brave diving header. Steve Smith's cross, Hoolahan taking a nasty blow to the face in the process. But thankfully, it wasn't long before he was back on his feet. Renewed hope for another strong away Canary following, but just 3 minutes later, City were delivered a controversial knockout blow. Elliot Ward judged to have handled the ball. Harsh decision, penalty given all the same. And Peter Whittingham making it 3-1 at half-time, which is how it stayed. And that victory for Cardiff enough to take them to the top of the Championship table, despite QPR still being unbeaten after 14 games. Norwich slipping down to 5th, with Coventry right in the mix at the end of October. November kicked off with the visit of Burnley, relegated from the Premier League last season.
Halfway inside the Norwich half with Elliott up towards the edge of the area, and Rodriguez, who's played a good ball through to the right hand side, and Mears' ball comes across and Patterson strokes it into the net, and Burnley take the lead after 25 minutes at Carrow Road. A well worked goal. Now Burnley find Patterson through the middle. The flag has stayed down. Patterson with the shot, John Ruddy gets a hand to it, but the ball has bobbled into the net, and it is 2-0 to Burnley. Martin Patterson scores his second goal in the space of 7 minutes, a question of offside about it.
So City facing unprecedented back-to-back defeats under Paul Lambert. But this game was far from over.
It's Crofts bursting forward for Norwich. Finds Chris Martin, and Chris Martin pulls one back for Norwich City. Just when they needed it, 20 minutes to go, Chris Martin has set up a grandstand finish at Carrow Road. Grant Holt helps him out. Andrew Crofts has emerged with the ball. He's played it into the penalty area. Chris Martin to the left of goal. Tries to tee it up for Russell Martin, who can't get the shot in. Still it's in the penalty area. Crofts shoots! Andrew Crofts scores! And Norwich City have salvaged this proud record that Paul Lambert has of never losing 2 games in a row as Norwich manager, with a fine finish from Andrew Crofts. What a moment at Carrow Road. It's 2-2, and Norwich have come from 2-0 down.
A freezing night in London. City without 7 senior players for the trip to Millwall, including the suspended Andrew Crofts. David Fox came into midfield and promptly cracked home his first goal for the club to put Norwich 1 up 15 minutes from time. The Canaries appeared destined for their 4th away win of the season, but as so often this year, there was a late sting in the tail. Into the 4th minute of added time, and Millwall snatching a draw through teenage debutant John Marquis. Harsh on Norwich, but another useful away point all the same. 1-1. Another live TV date for the Canaries next, the Saturday evening trip to Reading for a game which had just about everything. Goals galore and no shortage of controversy.
Taken down by Holt, bringing in Russell Martin. Corey Smith is ahead of him, here he is. Russell Martin has again made the run forward, and the defender held off him, and Russell Martin scores for Norwich. Hesitation there in the Reading defence, and Norwich made them pay. Martin combining wonderfully here with Corey Smith, and you can see Kizanishvili. What does he do? Does he go to the ball or does he mark the man? He didn't really do either. And that's a fine finish from Russell Martin, his second of the season. He scored at Doncaster in mid-September, his first goal in a year and a half. Well, now he's got another one. And Norwich lead at the Medeski. You can hear the frustration from the Reading supporters. Feel it's not quite going their team's way at the moment. Chris Martin hustling and harrying. Holt is in here. It's the second goal for Norwich. What an opportunistic goal from Grant Holt. Chasing down the back pass, got there first, still had plenty to do, but boy oh boy, didn't he do it well. Mills here, dispossessing Chris Martin, and then the back pass didn't have enough strength on it. Federici wasn't going to reach the ball before the striker Holt. Gets there first, and it's a very, very tight angle. Excellent finish. Grant Holt, 6th of the season. And Norwich lead by 2-0. Reading need a goal back. Howard with the corner kick. Cleared off the line and tucked away. They do get a goal back. It's an instant reply, and it's Ian Hart who has tucked it away from close range. Howard with the ball in, just cleared off the line by Fox, but Hart was there first. And Reading are right back in this match. Ian Hart's 4th goal for Reading since joining them in August from Carlisle. Well, it's pretty much dead centre. Chris Martin behind it. Driven well. Oh, what a good goal that is. Perhaps Brian McDermott might ask a few more questions about his defence as to how they conceded a goal from a free kick from that distance. Through the gap in the wall and just beyond Federici. Goalkeeper gets his fingertips to it, but can't keep that ball out. And Norwich restore their 2-goal advantage. Into the last minute then of the opening 45. That's a free kick. That's a foul by Holt on Hart. It's going to be... Oh, it's a red card. Grant Holt is sent off. It's a straight red. The Norwich captain, having scored in this match, is now dismissed just before the break. Here's the challenge again. Well, does he jump in? Referee has a good view of it. McAnuff, faced by Fox. Just is enough. Here's Hart. Away by Ward. Plenty of height in that central defensive partnership of Barnett and Ward for Norwich. Through by Karachan. Hunt, 3-2. A Reading goal that quite simply has been coming since the start of this second period. Noel Hunt scored against Cardiff here on Wednesday night, and he scored again this evening. He's clearly onside. Very nice finish indeed. And all of Reading's possession in this second half pays dividends. Karachan slipping the ball through to Hunt. And it's 3-2. What a match at the Medeski. Reading through again. It's a penalty. Michael Oliver points to the spot. Simon Lappin protests. There's a yellow card in the referee's hand. And the evening has just got worse and worse for Norwich. Shane Long brought down. The little ball through. Long trying to go through a gap between two defenders. Lappin jumping in, committing the foul. And Shane Long has the chance to make it 3-3. Long up against Ruddy. Still the referee waits, just getting everybody ready. Reading supporters hoping and praying for a goal, and they've got it as well. Shane Long makes it 3-3. 3-1 down at half-time. Reading are back on level terms against the 10 men of Norwich. Ruddy goes the right way. Can't quite get to the ball though. And the dismissal of Grant Holt just before half-time has really turned this match.
Thrilling game. Paul Lambert's keen to make a point or two to Mr. Oliver come the final whistle. Holt's red card was duly rescinded. The City boss was handed a 2-match touchline ban all the same. It's a record all-seater crowd of more than 26,000 inside Carrow Road next for the visit of Leeds.
Leeds play the ball forward here with McCartney, looking for Becchio, half cleared by Elliot Ward. Howson keeps the attack going for Leeds, then Becchio shot down by Leon Barnett, but the referee allows the advantage because Gradle's shooting for Leeds, and he's given them the lead. That ball has slipped through the Norwich goalkeeper John Ruddy's grasp, but into the net. It was a good advantage from the referee, and Leeds United are in front. Max Gradle the scorer. 13 minutes gone, Norwich 0, Leeds 1.
So once again City falling behind at home, but once again the never say die attitude kicking in. The Canaries taking the game to Leeds in search of an equaliser and going close, very close through Grant Holt on the end of Simon Lappin's cross. No luck that time, but City weren't to be denied.
65 minutes on the clock, 1-0 to lead. Fox's corner is a good one. Barnett's header! And he's got his goal! His first ever for Norwich City! They're back on terms. Leon Barnett scores his first goal for more than 2 years, and he sprints away towards the Gerald stand to celebrate it. He's finally got one, just when Norwich needed it as well. 1-1, Barnett in front of the Barclay.
It was a really good game of football. Two good teams, I think, and a very good game.
Worthy of a record crowd as well here.
Yeah, brilliant. As I said, our fans have been brilliant, and credit to Leeds fans for the numbers that they do bring. And but that's Norwich City for you. They generate a big following, and today was no different.
And so to the big one, the return of the East Anglian derby, another record all-seater Carrow Road crowd. The watching nation about to witness a very special day for Norwich City supporters.
They may be 44 miles apart, but the Old Farm derby has got a real intensity about it, and on a day like this, hot air of any sort is always going to be welcome.
16, Chris Martin. 19, Simon Lappin.
Paul Lambert sitting in the director's box today, serving the first of a 2-match ban from the touchline. He can give a pre-match and a half-time talk to his side, though. Holt there bearing down on OD. Holt's done really well. Good chance here for Norwich. Oh, what a goal! Grant Holt. That was sheer determination. He hustled and bustled and harried O'Dea, and he just knocked him out of the way. Norwich City's captain leads from the front and gives them the goal start in the East Anglian derby.
Well, you have to say that for me it's poor defending. O'Dea just hesitates, he could clear it there, but Holt, he snaps straight onto it, and that's an excellent finish. Got a lot to do there. For me, the keeper goes down a little bit early as well, but look at the quality of this finishing. He knows what he wants to do with it, makes it look easy.
Again, it's aimed towards Priskin, who gets his head on, and it's in at the far post. Ipswich Town are level, and Delaney was the man who got the final touch. Here's Lansbury moving in field, trying to influence things. Oh, it's a brilliant ball, great chance, superb finish. Second goal of the match for Grant Holt, and that really was a smashing goal from Norwich City.
Just gets that ball in that central area. I mean, it's a great ball. Got plenty to do. Look at this, look, just look, great ball.
And as the ball's played forward, he's definitely onside. Played onside by the defender on the left-hand side of the Ipswich Town defence. Lansbury, superb vision, beautifully picked out Holt with the pass, and Holt, calm and cool, slides it underneath Martin Fuller. Ipswich Town now will have to come from behind for the second time in the match. Just as they were in the ascendancy, the pendulum swings the other way towards Norwich City once again, but Holt has really been the difference in this game. Oh, he's got the better of Delaney. He went down there and he would have been the last defender. And the referee has got a decision to make here, and it is a straight red card for Damien Delaney of Ipswich Town. Clearly made to grab at Holt, who would have gone racing clean through.
Well, we talked about the hesitancy at the back. Delaney trying to turn out, Holt putting him under all sorts of pressure, and he has to go. Just look at him here, I mean, he turns into trouble there, and Holt's away. Okay, he's not the quickest, but you know, once he gets the wrong side of him there, the referee's left with no alternative.
And suddenly Ipswich Town are 2-1 down and a man down for the rest of this match. They'll play with 10 men for the remainder of the game. Lansbury with the cross. This is Wes Houlihan, brought down beautifully. Lovely play by Martin. Holt for the hat-trick! 3-1, surely game over. Norwich City finally find a way through, and today it just had to be Grant Holt again.
Well, the place has gone mad around me, and it's that man again, Holt. But Houlihan's touch from the cross, I mean, lovely play, nice and calm, and really that's all over now for Ipswich.
Ipswich Town are staring at a fourth defeat in a row.
Yeah, look at that, lovely feet, just tucks it away, makes it look simple.
I have to say, a bit like the second goal, the quality of the football in the build-up, the quality of the passing and the movement has been really good from Norwich City.
Job done.
Job done for Grant Holt, and almost game over for Roy Keane and Ipswich Town. Norwich now, you sense, with that real relief all around the stadium, can go on and enjoy the final moments of this game, the final few minutes, and here comes Houlihan. It could get worse for Ipswich. It has got worse. It's Wes Houlihan for Norwich City. And the bragging rights are wrapped in yellow and green.
Well, we talked about Houlihan's quality, and this is top quality. He's so composed, waits for the goalkeeper to go down. Fantastic skill, and they've got the quality, certainly, to really be effective in this league.
Ipswich Town are slumping to a very heavy defeat here. Just 1 minute and 57 seconds between the third and fourth goal for Norwich City.
Wow, Houlihan, I mean, it was worked beautifully, great vision for Davis, but just that little delay just draws the goalkeeper, and then a quality finish at the end of it.
There's been a real touch of quality about Norwich City's goals here. Some of the defending at times has not been great from Ipswich today, but you can't take away the quality of touches like that from players like Wes Hoolahan, who has come off the bench and made his mark on this local derby.
Well, Grant, there they are, the hat-trick boots, the golden boots. They certainly served you well on Sunday. How good was that for you personally?
Yeah, it's one of, like I said to a few people this week, it's one of them where you can't really put into words. It was a fantastic day, great win for the city, for the team, and everyone involved with Norwich. And we knew it was coming. We played well the last few weeks, and it was great to get the win more than anything else.
I thought he was unplayable. I thought he was excellent. I thought Lansbury was terrific for his first time under, and but Grant was in top form.
People have said the feeling that you'll get if you score and win is fantastic, and I'm sure he felt like that after the game.
Hat-trick hero Grant Holt duly taking his place in the Carrow Road Hall of Fame. The sweetest of derby victories, a perfect way to round off November. The win, after 4 straight draws, saw the Canaries move up from 8th in the table to 5th, sandwiched between the 2 Midlands clubs, Derby and Coventry, with informed Derby up next. (2,200 City fans braving the wintry conditions to make the trip to Pride Park next, and the Canaries making a great start.
Edge of the penalty area for Norwich City, who really have started brightly. Now Hoolahan takes possession, plays it into the penalty area here to Crofts, laid out to David Fox, who drives a shot in from a long way. Oh, he's deflected in! Norwich City get the goal that their start of this game has deserved. David Fox will claim it. He hit it from about 35 yards out, but it got a big deflection. That wrong-footed the goalkeeper Frank Fielding. It goes in, and with 10 minutes on the clock, Norwich City are in front by a goal to nil. Now Chris Martin on the edge of the Derby penalty area. They really have got the home side rattled. Here's Hoolahan, edge of the penalty area, lays it out to the left-hand side, and Simon Lappin needs a decent cross. It is a decent cross, and it's headed into the net by Chris Martin. 2-0 to Norwich City. Another fabulous goal. Lappin's cross in from the left-hand side. The Derby defence asleep. Chris Martin was absolutely unmarked and just planted his header into the bottom corner of the net. But here come Derby, they couldn't respond. Luke Moore has found Chris Commons, who bursts through and puts the ball into the net, and Derby County get one back. It's Derby 1, Norwich 2.
Back to Carrow Road, and what would be an eventful afternoon for Norwich defender Leon Barnett, hoping to celebrate his loan move from West Brom having become permanent. The Canaries dominated the first half, but they failed to take advantage, and they paid the price on 73 minutes. David Nugent running from deep inside his own half before setting up Dave Kitson. The goal was very much against the run of play, and City pressed for an equaliser, but they were undone again in the final minute. Same again, Nugent on the run, and this time Barnett penalised for bringing him down in the box. Penalty, and frustration getting the better of the City defender, shown a second yellow card and so sent off. Greg Halford completing a 2-0 win for the visitors. To the Ricoh Stadium now, a mini blizzard. Coventry 5th in the table, Norwich 6th, skipper Grant Holt returning from suspension, and Coventry reduced to 10 men just before half-time. Aaron Gunnison shown red for that 2-footed challenge on Henry Lansbury. The City midfielder fit to play on. Chris Gorham takes it up from here.
Still 0-0. David Fox for Norwich City to Henry Lansbury. Fed wide to the right, and Russell Martin has got an opportunity to cut in. Gets the cross into the penalty, a chance at the far post, and it's been headed into the net. And Norwich City take the lead at the Ricoh Arena. It was Holt who came in at the far post. The City skipper back in the team and back with a goal. And now Coventry trying to get in Marlon King, and they have got him in. He's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and he's scored. Marlon and it's Coventry 1, Norwich 1. Corner from the left-hand side for Norwich. In it comes towards Elliot Ward, who just couldn't make a decent contact with it. Holt from almost on the line has put it in the net. No! Grant Holt scored again. 4 minutes to go. It's Coventry 1, Norwich City 2. And in celebration, Grant Holt throws himself into a pile of snow behind the goal. And the Norwich fans get a good view of it. They're cheering because Norwich City are back in front. They've scored from a corner. It's Coventry 1, Norwich 2.
After the Boxing Day postponement of the trip to Crystal Palace, all that was left of 2010 was the visit of Sheffield United.
Danger here for Norwich City. Free kick not far outside the edge of their penalty area. Yates runs over the ball. Andy Reid curls it in, and it's a brilliant goal from Andy Reid. He scored 2 goals at Carrow Road last season for Sunderland against Norwich City. He really enjoys playing against the Canaries. He's just curled a free kick into the top corner, and with almost 17 minutes gone at Carrow Road, it's Norwich City 0, Sheffield United 1. A free kick to the right-hand side of the penalty area, curls it in towards the far post. There's a free header, and that is 1-1, and it's Michael Nelson who comes in at the far post. The central defender nods it into the net, a set piece at either end, and Norwich City were only behind for a couple of minutes. It's Norwich 1, Sheffield United 1. What a way to hit back. Quinn. Opportunity for him to play the ball low into the penalty area. Yates dummies it. Cresswell with his back to goal. Can he turn and shoot? He can! And he's scored for Sheffield United. They're back in front. Norwich 1, Sheffield United 2. The ball played into the feet of Cresswell, turned to face the goal and curled it into the corner of the net. And for the second time this afternoon, Norwich behind at home. Good ball from Lappin. Holt has it at his feet now. Houlihan on the left-hand side in support. Holt, though, has got past the 2 Sheffield United players, goes into the penalty area, goes down, and the referee's pointed for a penalty. And I think Norwich are rather fortunate there. Holt seemed to go down rather easily, but that doesn't bother the Barclay end because they've got the perfect view of a Norwich City penalty. Sheffield United are furious. It's Wes Houlihan for the Canaries with his left foot, and he scored! 2-2. Norwich's second equaliser of the afternoon. Houlihan comes off the bench at half-time and equalises from the penalty spot. McNamee's going to go it alone, lays it off to Corey Smith, 25 yards out. Smith into the penalty area. Houlihan has handball in the penalty area, and Norwich are going to be given their second penalty of the game. Houlihan helped it into the penalty area. It hit a Sheffield United defender on the arm, a lot clearer than the last penalty that Norwich were given, and Wes Houlihan has his second penalty of the half here. Wes Houlihan, he scored 1 penalty, and he's scored a second penalty now! Again, the goalkeeper goes the wrong way. He put it in the opposite corner to his last penalty. Houlihan on the spot again. 2 penalties from him, and Norwich City are in front in the game for the first time. It's 3-2. Reid puts it up towards the edge of the box. Yates for Sheffield United. There'll be a real stink here if Ched Evans can get this shot in. Oh, John Ruddy makes a really good save. And it's cleared away by Norwich City. A match-winning save there from John Ruddy. And now Norwich find Grant Holt, and he's away on the left-hand side. Can Grant Holt get a 4th goal for Norwich City? Who lands in the penalty area? Chance for the hat-trick. And he gets it! 4-2 for Norwich City. What an end to the game. Wes Houlihan has come off the bench and scored a hat-trick. Sheffield United almost equalised in stoppage time. Norwich have broken down the other end and gone 4-2 up. What an end to the game. It comes in the 7th minute of stoppage time, and it's Norwich 4, Sheffield United 2.
I thought we stopped and started the game. I thought we were a bit lethargic looking at it, but I've got to give the lads a lot of credit for coming back against a decent side.
It started obviously not the way you wanted to. Andy Reid got a goal, but you talked about their fighting back qualities, and you needed that, didn't you?
Well, we did, because we weren't playing as well as we have been of late, but to win a game was terrific, and as I said, we've got a lot of lads out at the minute, and the ones that came in have done great for me.
So here's how it looked at the end of a remarkable 2010. Norwich consolidating their position in 5th behind Swansea and Leeds, but only a point off the automatic promotion place as we entered the new year. To 2011, the Canaries kicking off the new year with the championship game of the weekend, the visit of league leaders QPR. A welcome return from long-term injury for Zach Whitbread in the heart of defence. Aaron Wilbraham making his debut, having signed from MK Dons.
Now here's Chris Martin, plenty of hoop shirts back, but Chris Martin decides to take them on. And it's a brilliant run and shot from Chris Martin and blocked by a QPR defender. Russell Martin, no, follows it up and scores a fantastic goal! What a way to start the new year for Norwich City and for Russell Martin! Chris Martin's shot was blocked. It fell nicely for the fullback Russell Martin on the edge of the penalty area, and he unleashed a ferocious shot beyond Paddy Kenny. What a start for the Canaries. They're beating the league leaders. They've scored with their first shot of the new year, 1-0.
That strike from Russell Martin enough to get the new year off to a flying start for the Canaries. Victory over the league leaders, who were then reduced to 10 men. Defender Matt Connolly sent off for bringing down Grant Holt early in the second half. City might easily have had more, not least from the resulting free kick. Chris Martin's shot parried, Wes Houlihan's follow-up blocked. 1-0, enough to turn a few heads, moving to within 5 points of the leaders now.
We're playing the best team in the league at the minute, and I thought we were excellent. I really did. I thought we were excellent. Really, the lads that have come in that have not played for a long, long time, and the amount of injuries we've got, it's a monumental win. That's how big it was. They're a top side. I know they get the lads sent off, but they're up there in merit, and they will be round about, I think, come the end of it. But what we've done, as I said before, it's been one hell of a ride, that's for sure. And the lads have done brilliant to get themselves in the position.
The first away trip of the new year was a long one, to the Riverside and Middlesbrough, where Norwich had a chance to move into second in the Championship and were bang on course when Grant Holt struck his 12th goal of the season in the 12th minute. Leon Barnett was back in defence after his suspension for his red card against Portsmouth, but his luck was out again here. The City defender diverting a shot past John Ruddy and into the net. Final score 1-1, but the point was enough to take Norwich up to second in the table above Swansea on goal difference. FA Cup third round now, and a good start to the weekend with Paul Lambert dismissing suggestions he'd be leaving Carrow Road for a move to Burnley. Great news for City fans, but the Canaries then on the wrong end of a cup giant killing. Former Norwich loanee Jimmy Smith grabbing something of a shock winner for the League One club. Smart header giving Declan Rudd little chance. So Norwich out of the FA Cup, yet a sense it was far from a disaster given City's promotion ambitions. All big games now. Craig Bellamy returning to Carrow Road for the visit of fellow promotion contenders Cardiff City. A veritable table-topping six-pointer. Commentary from Jackie Oakley.
Heaton's clearance. Ahead of Parkin. His Chopra leaves it for Parkin. Oh, what a strike from John Parkin! Just minutes into his Cardiff City debut, and he has put his new club in front. What a strike it was! And John Parkin gets his first goal for his new club, having failed to score in his last 8 for Preston. Here's Houlihan. Houlihan looking to get the shot in. Chris Martin back into Houlihan. The offside flag stays down. Back to Martin. Has Fox with him. Oh, what a strike from David Fox. Fancied his chances a long way out, and he wasn't too far away. It was Martin who saw Fox behind him. He was always going away from Tom Heaton. Just a couple of inches lower, and that surely would have been 1-1. Paul Lambert has said that he wants 3 new players in January. He's 2/3 of the way there, having brought in Aaron Wilbraham from MK Dons and Mark Tierney from his former club Colchester. Here's a chance over Norwich. Holt goes down. Houlihan with a strike, but still they claim it was a penalty against Grant Holt. Well, Houlihan will feel he should have finished the job off anyway to make it irrelevant, but certainly just before the Houlihan strike, Holt felt that he was he clipped there by Paul Quinn as he walked past him. There's a layoff from Chris Martin. Well, he was. Now here's Houlihan. In the 90th minute of the game, what can Norwich do here? Lappin, decent ball across. Surely it's the equaliser. Finally it's come. And it's Russell Martin with his 3rd goal of the season and one of the most important ones for Norwich City. That's what it means to their manager. Cardiff City surely now will be denied. They've been so patient in this game. They've had so much possession. They've played some lovely football, but they haven't made it count until now. There's the finish from the right back, Russell Martin. Wilbraham got the touch. It wasn't the touch he wanted, but it turned out to be a perfectly good one as far as Norwich are concerned. And there was Martin sneaking in at the far post, in off the crossbar. And finally, Carrow Road erupts.
Next stop, Bramall Lane. Fantastic travelling support yet again for the Canaries and the chance of a first league double of the season.
Ward whips it into the penalty area, good delivery. Evans has peeled off and found space and got the shot in, and John Ruddy makes a brilliant save, got his foot to it and put it over the crossbar. Here comes Chris Martin, up to the ball now, curls it brilliantly, it's hit the crossbar, it's hit the bar. Fox with the delivery, plays it in towards the far post, goalkeeper Simonson hasn't got there, Crofts shoots and scores for Norwich City. It's 1-0, the deadlock is broken on the hour, it dropped nicely for Andrew Crofts and he finished emphatically from 6 yards out. Long ball into the Norwich penalty area, Ched Evans makes room and shoots and scores. Sheffield United get the equaliser. David Fox gets ready again from this left-hand side. Delivers now, helped on by Grant Holt. Simonson under pressure again. Again, he hasn't dealt with it. It's still in the Sheffield United area. Lappin's shot is blocked. Falls for Crofts again, and he scored again! Once again, a Norwich corner leads to a goal from Andrew Crofts, and he's given Norwich the lead for the 2nd time in this game.
He's one of the best midfielders in the league, and that's all credit to himself. I think he's got a great desire for the game, and I think his season so far is getting higher and higher. And as I said, but it's not just Crofty, the whole team they've been colossal.
The Canaries unbeaten in the league in January, with the rearranged trip to Palace rounding off the month.
Here's David Fox now for Norwich in a central position. Good ball through the middle towards Lansbury. Now Houlihan takes it and feeds it brilliantly out to the right-hand side, and Russell Martin. Low cross from him is poor and swept away by Palace, but not very well. Only as far as Houlihan, who hits a curling shot. Brilliant effort from Houlihan, turned over the bar by the goalkeeper Speroni. Good save. The ball is with Palace on the left-hand side. Ambrose curls it into the Norwich area. Tierney gets his head to it. It's still in the box though. Zaha, the youngster, putting Norwich under pressure. Grant Holt back defending, but Zaha's got past him, shoots, and that's a tremendous save from John Ruddy, turning it wide for a corner. It's looping into the Palace penalty area. Wilbraham battling with it, Lansbury battling for it as well. It's going to run here for Grant Holt, who places it over the crossbar. And that is the end of the game, and Norwich City goes 2nd in the Championship, which is a great achievement, bearing in mind this is their 1st season up at this level after promotion. They haven't done it in the manner that their fans would have liked, but a point at Palace is enough for them.
Indeed it was, the goalless draw completing an unbeaten January in the Championship to see the Canaries move back up to 2nd in the table. 1 point ahead of the 2 Welsh clubs, only 5 behind Queen's Park Rangers. February got underway with yet another reminder that it really does pay to stay to the final whistle at Carrow Road, even if things don't start that well.
Here's Liam Trotter. Trotter releases Henry on the right-hand side. And Norwich's one-time loan signing James Henry crosses low into the penalty area. Glorious chance for Robinson, and he scores for Millwall. Theo Robinson gives Millwall the lead 10 minutes into the second half. Set up by James Henry on the right-hand side. And not for the first time this season, Norwich City find themselves behind at home. It's Norwich 0, Millwall 1. Can Norwich finally find a way through here? They've not really been knocking at the door tonight. But just a set piece, it could be what they need to make something happen. Lansbury floats the ball over the wall. Oh, it's in the post, and it's been poked in by Elliot Ward. What a time for Elliot Ward to score his first Norwich City goal. He could have missed, to be honest, but he needed to make it count. Brilliant free kick from Lansbury off the post. Elliot Ward scores, and a set piece has provided a breakthrough for Norwich. Finally the goal comes, and it's 1-1 at Carrow Road. Got to go long here, Norwich City. Does go long. Up towards Big Aaron Wilbraham, one of the subs, heads it on. Holt in the penalty area. Is it going to run for Holt? Or for Lansbury, who's gone down? He's it in! Henry Lansbury scores for Norwich City! And they've scored in the final minute of stoppage time! 2-1! What a moment! Henry Lansbury scores, and it's 2-1 at Carrow Road!
To Turf Moor, where Burnley, having failed in their bid to lure Paul Lambert from Carrow Road, were playing their first match under new manager Eddie Howe.
Norwich's back three start again with Whitbread. Carlisle has been intercepted everything today, but Cork, not for the first time, is caught in possession. Chance for Jackson as we see it from Lansbury. He's bumped to ground, no foul. And Rodriguez picks... Eagles picks up, edge of the penalty area. Chance for Marnie to strike! Oh, that's a wonderful goal from Dean Marnie! He kisses the crowd. His third goal for Burnley, and it's the former Norwich loanee who receives the plaudits of the Burnley fans. Changes being made on both sides. But who will have the major effect? Houlihan breaking forward. Martin's in the penalty area, he's waiting for it, might fall for Holt. Holt will get on it. What a strike from the captain! A real skipper's tale. Grant Holt with his 13th of the season, and a wonderful goal. It's exactly what Paul Lambert and those Norwich fans have deserved in the second half. The breakaway goal, the delivery was spot on, and Holt acrobatically managing to steer the ball into the bottom corner. Levels it up at Turf Moor. Houlihan, incisive with his run, picks out his pass, missing out the substitute Martin, and Holt, what a superb finish. Norwich at their very, very best, and that's why they're in with the shout of the title. The curling delivery, the dummy run, and the exquisite finish. Marnie on the edge of the penalty area. Delivery goes in towards the back post. It's there! And Rodriguez celebrates his England under-21 call-up with a neat half volley at the back post, and possibly gives Burnley all 3 points against title-chasing Norwich.
Back to Carrow Road and hold tight for another late Super Show.
Drury floats the ball forward, looking for Holt, who heads it into the penalty area. Houlihan chases it, does well to keep it in by the byline. Oh, brilliantly gets past two Reading players, lays the ball across. Great chance for Lansbury! Brilliant goal from Lansbury! Well worked by Wes Houlihan, though. He got himself out of a tight spot right on the byline, somehow found enough room to slide the ball across, and Henry Lansbury, who got a dramatic winner in Norwich's last home game, has scored again. Norwich are winning 1-0. Kebe, who's got away on the right-hand side, and he's beaten Elliot Ward, and he's in the Norwich penalty area. Kebe lays it across to Shane Long, who scores for Reading against the run of the play. It's 1-1.
So all square, and then entering the 4th minute of time added on, yet another extraordinary late finale at Carrow Road.
that ball has been caught by the Norwich chief executive David McNally in the stands, thrown to the manager Paul Lambert, and now back onto the pitch for Norwich City. Is this going to be a goal that's created right from the top of Norwich City? Here's Fox, just inside the Reading half. Forward to Sermon, touches it onto Crofts, in the penalty area, gets across, Wilbraham can't get there, Holt can! And Norwich City have done it again! Grant Holt scores for Norwich City, deep into stoppage time. They've done it almost for the last kick of the game again. It's Norwich 2, Reading 1, and it's incredible! They do it yet again at Carrow Road!
As we were saying, certainly didn't pay to leave Carrow Road before the very last kick during this remarkable season. 1 point transformed into 3 with less than 10 seconds on the clock. Off to Elland Road next, where overnight snow threatened City's match against Leeds. The pitch cleared in time though, and the fans treated to another cracking game between these two teams.
Free kick's been given to Leeds and it's been taken by Leeds, and they really have started at a fast tempo in this game. McCartney on the left-hand side comes forward, lays it out wider to Gradle. He curls the ball into the Norwich area. Snodgrass with a looping header, and it's been pushed in by Becchio. Leeds United take the lead at their start to this game as deserved. 1-0 after 16 minutes. Becchio couldn't miss after Snodgrass had looped the ball over the head of John Ruddy.
That was only for starters in what would be a pulsating match. Norwich going close as David Fox drew a spectacular save out of Kasper Schmeichel. Back at the other end and all sorts of goings on in the City box. Brave blocks and the woodwork keeping Leeds out. Still 1-0 then as they entered first half stoppage time.
Holt on the edge of the Leeds penalty area, headed away though by O'Brien, but it's fallen nicely for Crofts on the right-hand side. Has this half got a sting in the tail? Crofts crosses from the right, Holt heads it down, it's going to fall for Lansbury, who's equalised for Norwich City in first half stoppage time. They've been second best for almost all of this first half, and yet it looks as if they're going to go in on level terms at half-time. Elliot Ward now running forward for Norwich. Plays it to the feet of Holt, who tries to give it back to Ward, and Ward has won the ball deep inside the Leeds half. Crofts now plays Houlihan in. Chance for Norwich City. Houlihan from the angle. It's there! 2-1 to Norwich City. Where's Houlihan put the ball goalwards? I think it might have gone in off a Leeds defender, but 3,000 Norwich fans are going absolutely crazy in one corner of Elland Road because it's Leeds United 1, Norwich City 2. Paul Lambert, though, so animated down in the technical area with his spectacles on, wanting to kick every ball as Leeds come forward. Sommer's first touch is a shot at goal, and he's equalised! Great finish from David Sommer, the Leeds substitute. He's been on the pitch a matter of seconds, and he's volleyed the ball in beyond John Ruddy. What an introduction for David Sommer, and it's 2-2.
Even then, Leeds might have stolen all 3 points, but for a cracking save from John Ruddy 3 minutes into added time. Instinctive save, another tremendous game between these two teams, and the right result, 2-2. Carrow Road now for the midweek visit of Doncaster. Norwich hoping, expecting perhaps to pick up another home win, especially after Grant Holt opened the scoring. The City skipper on the end of Adam Drury's cross, stealing into volley home in some style. Goal number 15 for Holt, and all going to plan against a team who tried to have the fixture called off on the back of their injury problems. But Rovers snatched an unlikely point 7 minutes from time. John Oster's corner going in off Adam Drury's head. Hard lines on the City stalwart. Final score 1-1. Off to South Yorkshire next. Norwich at Barnsley. This would turn out to be a fantastic, memorable day for one Canary in particular, but not before John Ruddy was called into action early in the match. Great save from Ruddy. Over now to Chris Gorham.
Fox 35 yards from goal, closed down. Neat header from Sermon. This is more good football from Norwich City. Tierney on the left-hand side. Crosses in towards Crofts, whose header is in! Norwich get the goal that their start to the game is deserved. Another good move. The umpteenth time that they've
pulled Barnsley apart this afternoon. Good cross from Tierney, headed in by Andrew Crofts, and deservedly it's Norwich 1, Barnsley 0. Norwich building another attack, leading 1-0. Can they get a second goal here? It's Lansbury on the right-hand side. He's just been tackled, but it falls nicely for Houlihan. Houlihan puts it into the penalty area. Crofts is there with his back to goal. Turns and shoots and scores a fantastic goal! Andrew Crofts has his second goal of the afternoon. That was a fabulous goal. So good. Many of the Barnsley fans are on their feet applauding it. What a finish from the Norwich midfielder. It's Barnsley 0, Norwich 2. That is outstanding from Andrew Crofts.
Well, you're talking goal of the season. This is up there.
A goal of the season contender indeed, and Norwich supporters quick to liken Andrew Crofts' wonder strike to Justin Fashanu's famous volley against Liverpool at Carrow Road some 30-odd years ago. And that spectacular double from Crofts saw Norwich in 4th place in the table, a real battle for automatic promotion and the playoffs shaping up as we entered the final third of the season. Norwich well placed, Leicester and Burnley knocking on the door. Into March and the visit of Preston, rock bottom of the table but still scrapping for survival and taking a surprise lead through former Canary Chris Brown within a minute of coming on as sub. Neat volley on the hour to make it 1-0. City will level again 3 minutes later, David Fox finding Andrew Sermon inside the box. His shot saved, but Grant Holt there to poke home goal number 16 for the season, 1-1. And amid the celebrations, the City skipper keeping his promise to share a one-off celebration with a particular Canary fan. Norwich on the ascendancy, and they then had a golden chance to take all 3 points. It's Wes Houlihan with a ball into the box, falling to Russell Martin. His shot charged down by Darren Carter. Handball, the referee on the spot. Penalty Norwich. Wes Houlihan stepped up looking for his 10th goal of the season and tried a cheeky chip. Pretty simple save for keeper Ian Turner, and it enabled Preston to leave Carrow Road with a point, 1-1. A midweek trip to the Walkers Stadium and another big test for the Canaries against a revitalised Leicester City, now with promotion hopes of their own under former England boss Sven-Göran Eriksson. But the big spending Foxes were rocked on their heels when Wes Houlihan popped up at the near post to head home Andrew Sermon's corner midway through the first half. 1-0 Norwich. The lead was short-lived though, Richie Wellens' header beating John Ruddy. And it was 1-1 at half-time. But roared on by another huge away following, some 2,200 travelling supporters, the Canaries regained the lead 3 minutes after the break. Houlihan on fire, and the architect of City's second goal brought down for a penalty. And given events of the weekend, the Irishman stood down from spot kick duties, now assumed by skipper Grant Holt, who fairly ripped the net off with a no-nonsense rising drive to make it 2-1. Cue more offbeat celebrations, this time a tribute to new father Leon Barnett, sidelined by his hamstring injury for the rest of the season. Nice touch from the Canaries, who were by now in control and dominating the game with some of their best football of the season, and duly rewarded when Aaron Wilbraham scored his first goal for the club. 3-1 Norwich now, and the Canaries really good value for that 2-goal lead. Leicester pulled one back with almost the last kick of the game. Paul Gallagher's free kick making it 3-2, but there was no denying Norwich a marvellous victory, thoroughly enjoyed by manager Paul Lambert.
I thought we deserved it from start to finish. I thought we were terrific. It's the best in my tenure here that we played as well as that from start to finish.
So the best yet according to the boss, and a sense this could be another very special season.
The lads they've been brilliant. They've been a credit to the club for what they've been doing. As I said, the main objective when we get up from League One was to try and have a good season and try and survive in the league. we've surpassed that, and we're right in the mix.
Monday night football for the Canaries next, and a chance for the watching nation to judge City's promotion credentials in front of the live TV cameras. Norwich getting off to the best possible start.
Header on by Holt to Jackson. Jackson's found Houlihan in the penalty area. Early chance for Norwich City. Houlihan is wide of goal and has been brought down by Fontaine. And Norwich have been given a penalty at Carrow Road after just 44 seconds. Norwich City, with a chance to go second in the Championship, have been handed the perfect opportunity in the opening minute. David James, the huge former England goalkeeper, stands on the line. Grant Holdo beats him comprehensively. What an extraordinary start at Carrow Road to the Canaries' big night. They're 1-0 up before we play 2 minutes. It's 18 this season for Grant Holt, a perfectly dispatched penalty. Campbell Rice is going alone, plays it into the penalty area here. Chance for Bristol City. I don't believe it, they've equalised. Against the run of the play, and Doma knocks the ball into the net. John Ruddy got a hand to it, but Norwich City undone on the counter-attack. Campbell Rice slipped it through to Adoma, and he finished, and it's Norwich 1, Bristol City 1, and just when Norwich looked like they were going to score, they've actually conceded. Holt helps it on. Force for Houlihan, who's now playing right up there with him. Houlihan over the top. Lansbury's in here. Henry Lansbury with a chance for Norwich City. Yes! Henry Lansbury comes off the bench to score the goal, which will surely take Norwich City up to second place in the Championship. Brilliant finish from the edge of the 6-yard box after a great bit of invention from Wes Houlihan. Norwich 2, Bristol City 1. Second place, here they come. Bristol City have given it away. Sermon in the penalty area for Norwich. He shoots. 3-1! Andrew Sermon's first goal for Norwich City, and that does put the tin lid on it. Dreadful defending from Bristol City, but it's Norwich City 3, Bristol City 1. Party time at Carrow Road, and there's no doubt about it now. Norwich City are going second and into the automatic promotion places.
The Canaries back up to second thanks to that late show against Bristol City. Zach Whitbread then celebrated his international call-up for the United States by scoring his first goal for Norwich at Hull. Canary fans in good numbers and very good voice as usual. Into the second half, and great approach play here from Norwich. David Fox, Henry Lansbury and Grant Holt combining to set up Wes Houlihan. Denied by the keeper at the near post. Norwich looked on course for yet another away win, but they had to settle for a draw as the veteran Nick Barnby came off the subs bench and got on the end of Matty Fright's cross to make it 1-1. Undeterred, the Canaries went close to restoring their lead. Holt flicking the ball on for Lansbury. Simeon Jackson agonisingly close. Final score 1-1. Handshakes all round, and that draw enough to keep Norwich second in the table ahead of another international break. A point more than Swansea and a 10-point buffer in terms of the playoffs. But with just 8 games to go, City's target now very much the top 2 and automatic promotion. After a fortnight's break, it was back to Carrow Road, and the visit of Scunthorpe in trouble at the foot of the table, but the Canaries showing no mercy.
It's gone forward to Sermon. Tierney outside him on the left. Instead, it's gone to Pacheco from the byline on the left. Cuts it back to Holt, and Grant Holt stabs the ball into the net. It's the 5th home game in a row in which Grant Holt has scored, and Norwich's new-look front two combining brilliantly within 10 minutes. Pacheco cut it back. The man on his debut. Grant Holt was there again. And any Carrow Road nerves have been calmed by the City captain. It's Norwich 1, Scunthorpe 0. Well-worked goal. Crofts now to Pacheco. 30 yards from goal. Ball through from Pacheco towards Grant Holt, who's brought down. That has to be a penalty. You'll never see a clearer penalty than that. He was dragged down, and it's a straight red card as well. Paul Reed, the Scunthorpe defender, has been sent off. Holt would have been clean through. It was clearly a goal-scoring opportunity. Grant Holt up to the ball now from the penalty spot. He scores, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. It's a spectacular half-century for Grant Holt. He's been a Norwich player for less than 2 seasons, but he's clocked up 50 goals now for the club. What a player he has been. Fox with a delightful ball out to Russell Martin on the right-hand side. On now to Crofts, right-hand edge of the Scunthorpe penalty area. Drills the cross in, Holt for the hat-trick! There it is! Grant Holt nods the ball in, free header from the edge of the 6-yard box. He doesn't miss those. He has his 3rd hat-trick for Norwich City, his 2nd this season. He celebrates with the Barclay end. Norwich City well and truly in control. Grant Holt the man of the moment again. Norwich 3, Scunthorpe 0.
One hat-trick in the bag enters Simeon Jackson, and a defining moment in City's season, or rather 3 defining moments.
Misplaced back pass by Scunthorpe, they've let in Simeon Jackson, and Simeon Jackson tucks in goal number 4 for Norwich City. An absolute gift, and just what the Norwich striker needed. It's the first time he's scored since October. He delightfully rolls the ball in front of the Barclay end. Simeon Jackson could not miss. He's finally back amongst the goals. Russell Martin plays it long. Here's Lansbury on the right-hand side. Jackson's the only man in the middle. He wants the cross, but Lansbury delays. Now gives it to Jackson. He scored again. There we are, Simeon Jackson. You wait 21 games for a goal, and 2 come along in the space of 2 minutes. Simeon Jackson has scored twice quickly. It's Norwich 5, Scunthorpe 0. Sermon. Can Norwich finish in style? Sermon in the penalty area, shoots low, turn goalwards by Jackson, and that is a hat-trick for Simeon Jackson. A hat-trick for Holt, now a hat-trick for Jackson. Not bad, considering he only came on with 21 minutes to go. He's helped himself to a treble. This afternoon really cannot have gone better for Norwich City. At Carrow Road, it is Norwich City 6, Scunthorpe United 0.
And Simeon, 2 hat-trick scorers. Who gets the match ball?
I think we're going to try and cut it in half, to be honest. But no, they've done well, and we've got a ball each. But the stuff we played today was unreal.
How good a performance was that by Norwich?
One of the best, this season, I think, for us. As I said, we moved the ball well. So the tempo was unreal, and we got the goals. So good result, especially after the break. Coming back fresh. So hopefully that'll kick us on.
If Scunthorpe was a stroll in the park, Swansea would be anything but. Something of a must-win game for the home side if they were to stand any realistic chance of beating Norwich to 2nd place. The Canaries close to taking an early lead. Danny Pacheco and Grant Holt both denied by the keeper. Swansea were then given an opportunity to test John Ruddy. Zach Whitbread penalised for the foul. Up stepped Fabio Barini on loan from Chelsea. And no arguing with the class of that finish. 1-0 Swansea with just 5 minutes on the clock. John Ruddy given absolutely no chance. Just before the half hour, City found themselves 2 down. Mark Gower seizing on the rebound to fire home powerfully from the edge of the area. 2-0 at half time. Moments into the second half and a great chance for City to pull a goal back. Skipper Holt uncharacteristically off target from Pacheco's free kick. And a rare off day for the Canaries was complete when Thomas Priskin pounced on Whitbread's back pass to add a 3rd for Swansea and cut City's lead over the Welshman to just 1 point with 6 games to play. Also a point behind the Canaries, Cardiff, with Reading hitting a great run of form just at the right time. Leeds not out of it either. QPR nailed on for the title, but the race for the 2nd automatic promotion place could hardly be closer. It's Vicarage Road, Watford next, the return fixture of the opening game of the season. This match beamed back live to supporters at Carrow Road with commentary from Donovan Blake.
So Norwich City 6 games and counting. Their hopes of trying to re-establish that lead between themselves and the chasing pack for that second automatic spot. Well, there's a Watford manager and a cult hero with Norwich City supporters. Probably not for tonight, as a opposition manager at the moment. But he'll be hoping that he can, as you can see, the embrace and the handshake between the former Celtic teammates, Paul Lambert and Malcolm Mackay. Just the one season they had as teammates. Now, Holt releasing Vokes. The shot's deflected and in! What an impact by Sam Vokes! Norwich in front. Delight among the Norwich faithful. And it was the ball which was played forward and Holt set it up for Vokes. What an impact. Chetted it down, got away from Doyley. It was a scruppy sort of finish, but it doesn't matter. It found the target over the head of Scott Loach and into the net. Less than 2 minutes gone. Fox lets the ball run under his feet. Graham has got Deeney in front of him. They're outnumbered at the moment. Here's Deeney and Graham. Oh, it's gone in. It's gone under Ruddy and into the net. And Danny Graham, who scored on the opening day of the season at Carrow Road, has equalised. Holt almost forcing Watford into an error, but Watford have made a good thing out of this, and that looks like a foul. In fact, referees played the advantage. Graham set up for two people here. Good feet, good goal! Carey has turned it around for Watford. Fox waits to take this free kick. Aimed towards Holt, and Clinton is there! The equaliser! Simeon Jackson! It's two apiece, and look what it means to the supporters here at Vicarage Road. I hope you're celebrating back at Carrow Road. Well set up there by Holt, looked under pressure, but he did well just to steer it into the path of Simeon Jackson for an easy tap in, and it's two apiece.
Another live TV date for the Canaries now. All eyes on Carrow Road and the visit of Nottingham Forest.
Maloney plays it forward early. Tyson, who's a pacey striker, is making a run forward here, and John Ruddy's come outside his penalty area and kicked the ball against Tyson, and the ball's gone into the net. Nottingham Forest take the lead after 2.5 minutes. A bizarre goal. The Norwich goalkeeper John Ruddy coming outside his penalty area, kicking the ball away straight against the striker Tyson. From there it could have gone anywhere, and it bounced into the empty net. So this free kick for Norwich City is on the Norwich right on the near side as we look at it. David Fox with the right foot puts it into the Forest penalty area. Holt's there! And Grant Holt! It had to be! Scores for Norwich City! There was doubt about whether he'd be in the Norwich starting lineup. He's there, and he's the man on the spot for Norwich City again, applying the finishing touch at Carrow Road. And once again, it is Grant Holt's name being chanted in this ground. 1-1, Holt, the hero yet again. Holt halfway inside the Forest half, plays the ball through. Andrew Surman's in here for Norwich, he shoots and he scored! Andrew Surman puts Norwich City in front. Grant Holt has scored one for Norwich tonight. Now he's made one, and Andrew Surman, who's had a really good start to this game, finishes brilliantly. It is Norwich City 2, Nottingham Forest 1.
And so to Portman Road, the old enemy desperate to gain revenge for the 4-1 drubbing earlier in the season and derail the Canaries' automatic promotion hopes into the bargain.
Holt chests it down into the path of Crofts, who is looking to find Tierney on the left-hand side. First time we've seen him get forward. Now Sherman on the edge of the Ipswich penalty area. To Houlihan on the left, low cross. Goalkeeper Lee Barrett has built it. Sherman! Norwich City lead at Portman Road. It was a mistake by the former Norwich goalkeeper Aaron Lee Barrett. Couldn't hold the cross from Houlihan, and Andrew Sherman gleefully just whipped it in to an empty net, and Norwich are in front at Portman Road. Andrew Sherman the scorer on Derby night.
Got to say, Chris, as well, it isn't undeserved. Norwich have been the best team. They've dominated this opening spell, 13 minutes on the clock, and they're 1-0 up. It's an excellent move, and I tell you what, Mark Tierney take a bow there. Brilliant ball infield to Sherman, who just played it into Houlihan. The keeper, you've got to point your finger at there. He's got to hold that shot. But when he didn't, who was there? Sherman on the ball, smashed it into the net. 2,500 Norwich fans going bananas in the corner.
Fox with the corner now. Jackson nearly there. Oh, and it's just turned into his own net. Oh, what a disaster at the back for Ipswich. The corner came in. Ipswich made a real hash of it, and it's gone in off one of the defenders. Embarrassment at Portman Road for Ipswich Town. They put the ball in their own net, and after 23 minutes, it's Ipswich 0, Norwich 2.
Well, it's a shambles at the back there. It's a good corner in, I'll say that. And somebody just got a flick on it, but it's definitely an own goal. The ball bounced up into the top corner, rolled around the back of the net. Nobody really could realise it was in, but it was in. And Norwich are 2 up at Portman Road.
Russell Martin for Norwich. Right-footed ball forward, again looking for Holt. Holt taking on Delaney, the defender, and shrugging him off here. Well forward on the right-hand side. Holt's cross, Jackson pokes it goalwards. 3-0! Derby delight for the Canaries at Portman Road. The fans in that yellow and green corner of Suffolk are going crazy. The Norwich fans jog over there to celebrate. Ipswich Town 0, Norwich City 3 is the score on the Canaries' big derby night.
And he deserves that, Jackson. Just been saying, would he get his opportunity? He's worked his socks off tonight, but we thought maybe Holt was having a breather. I think he was, because we just saw the best of Holt there. Strong, thoroughly determined. There was only going to be one winner in that challenge between him and Delaney. He got goal side. He's fizzed a brilliant ball across the face of the 6-yard box, and Jackson on the move, first to it, seals the Derby game.
Ipswich play it forward. Russell Martin slips. Wickham's header to Bullard. Here comes David Norris forward for Ipswich to Jimmy Bullard, 25 yards from goal. Goes past Lansbury, central position, shoots from distance. Oh, it's a brilliant goal from Jimmy Bullard. Ipswich have got on the score sheet. Most of their goal attempts tonight have been from distance. They finally get one right. Jimmy Bullard puts it in the top corner of the Norwich net, but it is still Ipswich 1, Norwich 3.
Oh, it's a fantastic strike from Bullard, and that's unstoppable. You think, well, go on, try your luck, and he has pulled out a peach that. That's gone right into the top corner.
I wouldn't have thought an Ipswich goal in an East Anglian derby has ever received a more lukewarm reception than that, because it doesn't do much to restore respectability, but Ipswich have pulled one back. It's just a 2-goal deficit now for them to make up with 12 minutes to go. Ledbetter's ball in is cleared away, though, well by Norwich, and they will counter-attack. Houlihan into the Ipswich half. He's got 3 players up in support. He's left-hand side, now plays it across. Edwards doesn't cut it out. Russell Martin in the area, shoots! Oh, that's the derby in the bag! Russell Martin makes it 4-1. It's the 8th goal that Norwich have scored against Ipswich Town this season, and it's party time again. Ipswich 1, Norwich 4. Russell Martin seals the deal.
It was just a blip, wasn't it? I said they're comfortably in control. Well, there's thousands leaving the stadium now, and it's a classic counter-attack from the Ipswich corner. Half cleared, then Norwich sprung. Brilliant play from Houlihan, carried the ball 40 yards down that left flank. He's put a peach of a ball in behind the Ipswich defence, I think aimed at Jackson, just slightly in front of him, but Russell Martin, who'd run 80 yards to support that attack, rattles it in for a 4-1 drubbing again.
A couple of Ipswich players are offside, but Norwich have cleared anyway. Up towards Vokes on halfway, who holds off the challenge really well of one Ipswich player, and Vokes is the toe-in, and he's got away, and Norwich City have got 2 men over here. This could be 5. It's Vokes to Pacheco, to Simeon Jackson. Jackson for number 5. Oh, he's hit the crossbar. Pacheco on the rebound. 5-1 at Portman Road to Norwich City. Those Ipswich fans are left in the ground as one rise, and they're leaving. What a scoreline! What a night to be a Norwich City fan! All you need to know is the score. Ipswich 1, Norwich 5.
It's easy. It's too easy. Any one of 4 players could have scored there. It's a 3v1. There's Ipswich players on the knees already. Don't want to carry on. And they've still got another minute or so of stoppage time to play. hit the bar, came down to Pacheco. It's almost like a training ground game, this. You pick your spot. Where do you want to score? High, low, left, right? Put it in the top corner from 4 yards out. What a rout.
Pacheco's first goal in English football seals the demolition derby at Portman Road. It's almost as if there wasn't a game on tonight. There are so many empty blue seats that everywhere you look. I've never seen a ground empty so quickly. Ipswich 1, Norwich City 5. That is an extraordinary scoreline, make no mistake about it.
Three games to go, a massive weekend. Hold on tight.
Grant Holt takes it quickly, releases Tierney from the byline on the left, gets the cross in, Jackson's header! Yes, for Norwich City! Simeon Jackson, Norwich's form striker, does it again! 6 goals in as many games! Chances have been few and far between at Carrow Road this afternoon, but Norwich have taken one right at the end of the first half. Simeon Jackson again! Norwich 1, Derby 0. Robinson, the striker, who's dropped deep to get a touch and bring Bueno into play, the Spaniard. He's played the ball into the Norwich area, and it's a header goal as it's there from Davis, and it changes again at the top of the table because Norwich have been pegged back. Sermon, he's had a quiet game for him this afternoon, but he's got the ball now. Up to Holt, edge of the penalty area, to Simeon Jackson, curling effort! Wonderful goal! Simeon Jackson has his second of the afternoon, and that was absolutely brilliant! Curled it in from in the D on the edge of the penalty area. Norwich are back in front, and they're back in second place as it stands. Norwich 2, Derby 1. Simeon Jackson, that was magnificent. Derby are coming forward. Bueno, 25 yards from goal. Low shot, it's there, it's 2-2. And Norwich have been pegged back for a second time. And it's Bueno this time with a low shot from 25 yards out. And once again, heads in hands around Carrow Road. Lansbury's corner, it's gone all the way through. Chance! Blocked on the line, but it's going to go in! It's going to go in! Jackson completes his hat-trick in stoppage time, and it's utter chaos at Carrow Road! Norwich 3, Derby 2, and Jackson completes his hat-trick! Wow! We've had some dramatic finishes at Carrow Road this season. That takes the biscuit. 3-2, Norwich are staying second. What about that, Neil Adams?
You beauty, you absolute beauty. Time's up, the place is going bananas, and Norwich have won the game.
Bedlam at Carrow Road. That late goal, absolutely priceless. Without it, the Canaries would have been a point behind Cardiff. With it, crucially, City held the advantage going into the final 2 games of the season. Bank holiday Monday, May the 2nd, a day which will go down in Norwich City history. When Cardiff suffered a shock 3-0 defeat against Middlesbrough, it meant the Canaries could clinch promotion to the Premier League a few hours later at Fratton Park.
If Norwich want it, it's there for them. The prize, if they win, a place in the Premier League a year on from winning League One. Along here towards Jackson, away by Herman Hreiderson. There's Joel Ward for Pompey. Tierney and Holt and McQuainer. And McQuainer there led with the arm, and Grant Holt has been caught here. Free kick to Norwich, good position. And McQuainer here with the arm. And that's a nasty one. By David Fox, deflection, here's Whitbread, oh, good chance. Inside 2 minutes, Zach Whitbread there for Norwich, with what maybe could have been, should have been, the opening goal. By Tierney. Towards Holt again here, it's Delata away, back in by Tierney. Too high for Crofts. Only beaten there by Zach Whitbread. Whitbread's pass towards Holt. It's McQuainer clear, but there's a free kick here. Dickinson's foul there on Whitbread. Play call back. And by Fox here for Ward across the flight. And Elliot Ward there got a key touch on that. The ball was not too far away here from Ashdown's top corner. Norwich getting close. Martin for Houlihan here. Houlihan, Jackson, Russell Martin. Norwich here with another good spell of Ominous possession deep in the Pompey half. It's going to come to Holt here, who tries to find and steer and navigate away past Ashton, but McQuainer, in the nick of time for Pompey, just gets the ball clear here before Holt gave Norwich the lead. Getting closer, but closer is not enough as things stand. It's on here for Crofts, and then Holt releases Simeon Jackson here. It's Simeon Jackson! Oh, of all the players, given his current form, but he can't finish. And the red-hot Simeon Jackson here is a whisker away from 1-0 Norwich. Played in, and rather scuffed his shot there when he had the goal waiting for him. Here's Crofts. Crofts now for David Fox. Fox, great cross, Jackson! And Simeon Jackson this time has the goal. He knows, they know what that goal might just mean. It puts Norwich City on the very cusp of the Premier League. Crofts here, in for David Fox, whose cross was absolute perfection. And how about the finish? 9 goals in 7 games. Simeon Jackson in the form of his life, with the goal of his life, perhaps for Norwich City, destination Premier League. The breakthrough. Houlihan now for Norwich. This is Sermon. Now it's Russell Martin to try his luck. Ashton beeps the ball away. The ball broke here for 5-goal right-back Russell Martin. Ashton there couldn't find a way through. A long throw here by Halford. It's flicked on, but not flicked too far clear. Back in by Nugent for Kanu. Good save. John Reddy's reactions there were absolutely razor sharp, and boy, they had to be. Good save to steer the ball away to safety. Late pressure, stoppage time. Norwich nerves beginning to jangle perhaps. In by Halford here. Whitbread away. Halford again. Halford now for Hayden Mullins. Mullins comes back out towards McQuainer. This is Liam Lawrence. That's a good cross, and Grant Holt, the captain there, doing the centre-back's job, the striker. Good clearance too. Here's Hayden Mullins for Pompey. Norwich get the ball away as time ebbs and ticks further away. He wants the full-time whistle. Norwich seconds away. Andy D'Urso blows the whistle, and that's it. It's been a 6-year wait, peaks and troughs, and boy, there were some troughs as well, but Norwich City, tonight it's all come right for them. A second successive promotion, and this one is the big one. Norwich will paint the Premier League yellow and green next season. Simeon Jackson, the man whose goal has taken Norwich back to the Premier League. What a run of form Jackson's found, and his team have got their second successive promotion, and what a job Paul Lambert has done for them. Less than 2 years in the job, and the first ever Norwich boss to win 2 promotions. Let the party begin, because Norwich City are back in the Premier League.
I think some of the football played the last 3 or 4 months have been unbelievable the way we moved it, and we've got that belief and we hit form at the right time. And I think you can show today, we showed both sides of the game today, our resilience of not to concede, and our belief to go and get goals.
Those supporters have been incredible this season, haven't they?
Yeah, as I say, we know today we could have doubled that. I think if we got the tickets, would have doubled it. And they've been fantastic all year. Everywhere we go, it's been sold out, and it's great. That's why the reason they come and watch us away from home is because they know we go to win games. We don't go to sit back and take draws. We go to win games, and they've been fully entertained all year, I hope, and long may it continue.
final day of the season at Carrow Road. First up, in time-honoured tradition, the presentation of the Canaries Player of the Year. Grant Holt joining the exclusive band of City greats to lift the Barry Butler Trophy for a second time. As for the action, 4 goals in 11 minutes pretty much sums it up. Coventry taking the lead early in the second half, Richard Keogh forcing home an untidy opener. The Sky Blues hadn't read the script. Grant Holt certainly had, almost inevitably leading the comeback with a classic header. 1-1, Holt's 23rd of the campaign. His work for the day, and indeed the season, was done. Norwich then took the lead with a goal bearing all the hallmarks of the style and quality that's underpinned their success this season. Building from the back, slick one-touch football, culminating in a clever feint and then finish from substitute Danny Pacheco. The Spaniard on loan from Liverpool, certainly enjoying himself and staking a claim for a more permanent return next season. 2 minutes later, parity was restored once again, Coventry grabbing an equaliser. 2-2, but nothing was going to spoil the party for the Canaries. The management, the players, most of all perhaps the supporters. Another moment, another season to savour under the remarkable Paul Lambert and his coaching staff. And there, for the record, the final league table of the 2010-2011 Championship season. Norwich City Football Club back where it belongs, in the Premier League. So, job done. All that was left for Paul Lambert and his squad was to share their success with the people of Norwich, a second civic reception in successive years. A reported 40,000 supporters transforming the city centre into a sea of yellow and green. The traditional open-top bus parade to follow festivities at City Hall. The players making sure they captured the moment as they took to the balcony, and a chance to reflect on an extraordinary achievement of the class of 2011.
I said after the Portsmouth game it was a miracle what they'd done and where it came from. In 2 years that we've been here, it's been unbelievable. The way the club was when we first came in, you couldn't begin to explain how low it was, and to go and win the league of that year when nobody really gave us a chance because Leeds were that far ahead, and to do it and the way we've done it was extraordinary. And this year we were going to just try and stabilise it. But you've got to give the lads every bit of credit. They're the ones that play the game, and what they've done, as I said before after that Portsmouth game, it's unbelievable back to back. It's a very rare thing now.
You always say when you regret it, when you have to stop playing football, but I must say this is just as enjoyable. I mean, to be a part of this again and get back to where I think we belong and the club belong is a great honour, yeah.
Adam Drury had seen it all before, of course, last year, and team captain the last time City were promoted to the Premier League 7 years ago.
Maybe perhaps I'll enjoy it a bit more because I get let it sink in, and obviously a bit older and a bit wiser as the lads keep reminding me. But no, yeah, it's going to be a fantastic evening, and it's a great achievement by everyone involved, and the fans have turned out in their thousands again, which is absolutely fantastic.
No one expected for us to do this apart from ourselves. I think when I first started, I thought, you know, we had a great side, and as the months started getting closer to the end, I knew we was in with a shot, and to do it's been unbelievable.
You are the best supporters in the world. Michael and I go to every match, and I always feel a bit emotional when I see you all driving up in the car parks, putting on your shirts, and I always feel a great bond with you all. And I do think the one thing that's wonderful about Norwich City Football Club is we are one. We are very well bonded together.
If you're going to do it and you're going to play football, you want to play at the highest level possible. And thankfully we're up there now, and gives a lot of lads who worked hard and grinded out careers in the lower leagues to go up there and test themselves against the best and see how they get along. And I, for one, am looking forward to that.
Grant Holt lifting the trophy, a moment for all concerned to cherish before it was time to take to the streets. Holt and his teammates aboard the open-top bus, crawling from the Forum to Castle Meadow, flanked by delirious and appreciative Norwich City supporters.